Hello, and welcome to today's live stream. All right, I think that's good enough. Getting everything set up. All right. Hello, the crazy blow pop. Hello, Dree. Hello, Jessica. How is everybody today? My work area ready. So start off like I have been in the past, showing what we did on the last Let's Make a Monster live stream. So that was 2 weeks ago. And we made Owlscar, our little three-eyed owl monster. Hello, P-Stub. So there's a good look at Owlscar. And I'll bring him up probably towards the end of the video again, so people that hop on later can see him. Dree, I am doing pretty well today. Glad you're doing well. So I decided, kind of on the last one and looking back at some of my other ones, that it's easier for me to have a little bit more direction with these. So I'm doing like a basic animal shape to get me started. And then once I get to the attributes, then I'll let you guys decide what he has. So for those of you that are new, or if you're watching this later and you haven't watched my Let's Make a Monster live streams, what I do is I create a monster based on viewer input. So I'll do the base of the monster, and then I'll ask the viewers how many eyes, if it should have claws, wings, tongues, teeth, all that good stuff. So today we're going to make a monster that's kind of in the shape of a seal or a walrus or a sea lion, that shape. So I'm going to start off with some foil to build up my base. So I want to have it be a little bit kind of like a cone shape, so it's kind of bulkier on the front. We have the chest area and then taper off to the tail. All right, crazy blow pop. Let's get this monster made. Now, do any of you follow or watch Ace of Clay? So Ace of Clay just had his results for his monthly challenge, and it was for a goblin. So at the beginning of May, he did a character generator, and it came up with a type of goblin for him to make for the challenge. And then everybody in his Snakes of Clay group could make that character and post it in the Snakes of Clay group. So I went ahead and made my goblin, and I posted it in the group, but this week on Tuesday, I believe, I still need to finish it up. I will have my video up on my channel of my version of the goblin for the challenge. So definitely check that out. As an artist, there's some pieces that I'm like, oh, I hate the way this turned out. And then there's other pieces you're just like so happy with. And he's definitely one of the, like, I'm so happy with it. He's one of my favorite things I've done. So I really hope people appreciate him. And sometimes I'll have something I really like and my, other people don't, or vice versa. I'll think something turned out like, did not turn out at all. And other people will think, oh, that's great. I'm like, no, it's not. So, but with him, I spent a lot of time on him and I'm really happy how he turned out. So I'm hoping others enjoy him too. And if you're in that group, you might have already seen him. But it is going to be a longer video, so it's taking me a little bit longer to make, because he took me 10.5 hours to make, so I had that much footage to go through for the video. So I need a little bit more clay here. I don't want to, this is all the orange I had in my storage thing. So I want to make sure to stretch this out the best I can, make sure I have enough. Yeah, Adrian, if you want to join that group, I think I can send you an invite, or you can just go to Snakes of Clay and then just, apply. You have to answer a couple questions. They just do that to make sure you're not like a bot or something. But it's a really fun group, and there people share so many amazing things in there. It's really inspirational. But this was his first challenge like this, and it was a lot of fun because, I mean, everybody had the same set of instructions, but, of course you get all kinds of different results, and nobody shared anything ahead of time. That was part of the rule. So, I mean, you get a variety here. Now I do have some Midnight here, which is black. Oh no, this is Twinkle Twinkle, sorry. So it's black with like glitter in it, and I can use that if we want to add spots or something. And I'm all over the place today, guys, so I apologize for that. I'm just kind of like... And I haven't even had that much sugar or caffeine. Dream says black with glitter like my soul. Well, that is awesome. Craig Blow Pop says it's okay. Yeah, this is what you're getting, folks. And if you enjoy my live streams, I will be having one on Thursday this week at 7 p.m. Central Time. And I'm going to do another 3D sculpture with my pen, my 3D pen. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I finally got my mini iron. So I need to use the thing I'm making that to demonstrate the mini iron on an upcoming video. Jessica says I've been making face masks. That's great. I live out in the middle of nowhere, so I ordered some on TeePublic, and that was a month ago, and I still haven't gotten them. Crazy Blow Pop says I'll try to make one. Dree says, cool, Jessica, what type of stuff? Yeah, I'd like to know that too. I was curious if it was like what kind of fabric you're using. I'm assuming they're fabric ones. Are you doing like ones that have pop culture stuff on it, or just a pattern? I've seen a lot of neat ones. I'm going to go ahead and make a couple of big fins. Dree says, oh my, that's such a weird concept to me, living in the middle of nowhere. There is no such thing in Holland. It's tiny over here. Everything is relatively close. Dree, I live in a town that's under 4,000 people. And for those in the US, you'll understand I am an hour away to the closest Walmart. So that gives you an idea how distant everything is. That's how everybody understands, like, oh my, because most people are 5 minutes away from a Walmart. Hello, Tori Perfect, how are you? And we used to have a department store here in town, but it's closed down. It was a Shopko. They went out of business. So we have a dollar store, which isn't really a dollar store, it's a Dollar General. And we have a couple grocery stores and a few, like mom and pop shops down at the square. Tori's doing good, I'm doing great. Tendry says, well, Walmart's more than an hour away from me. I'd have to take a plane. Yeah, I didn't know if there's any Walmarts overseas. You think of like McDonald's and stuff is overseas, and a lot of retail chains are, but in the US, being an hour away from a Walmart's makes you pretty much out in the nowhere. Can't talk today. Makes you living out in the nowhere. Yeah, Walmart's one of those companies they're not always in the news positively. Just adding one of his little finnies. Hello, Charcoal. Dree says Walmart and Whole Foods. Yeah, I don't even know where the closest Whole Foods are. Kearney's the closest big city to me. I mean, Lexington's closer and they have a Walmart, but they're not as big. But they're about an hour. Kearney's just right. Well, I think Lexington's about 50 minutes and Kearney's about an hour. Charcoal asks, how are we all doing today? I'm doing great. Having fun starting to make a seal, sea lion, walrus type monster. Tori says, I live in a small town, so there's a store where you can buy anything but anything you need, like clay. I'm planning for buying some. I'm hoping next weekend we go to Kearney. Things are starting to open up a little bit more here. Won't go anywhere to, inside to eat or anything like that, but Charcoal says it kind of looks like a plane. Kind of. Dree says there aren't really any big hypermarkets here in Holland either for those going to Germany or even France. Hello, Toast. Jessica says, I have relatives in Kearney. My uncle was on TV there last night. Oh, cool. Tori asks, and what monster are you doing? Yeah, so I'm doing bring this up to the camera. This is the start. It's not an airplane monster. It's going to be like a seal, sea lion, or walrus shape. So I'm going to add a little bit of a tail to it, and then you guys can start figuring out the attributes, or we can do the shape of the head and then the attributes. I don't want these to try to support the weight of it, so I'll kind of bend them a little bit. Joel says, I love seals. Hopefully it turns out the way you want. Tori says, oh, I thought it was going to be a little carrot monster. Yeah, and have you guys seen my carrot monster? The Crazy Blow Pop says, yeah, living in Kentucky is kind of great. I was kind of upset about my video for the carrot monster because the music got a copyright strike, so I had to turn off that music, and I think I replaced it, but it also was during my voiceover. But what's annoying is it shouldn't have gotten a copyright strike because I use copyright-free music that I got off of iTunes. Like, I bought the music to use for my videos, and it says copyright-free and all that. But no, it's whoever owned the music claimed it, and they said it was one song, but it was actually a different song in it. And the only way you could dispute it is with the person who claimed it. So you can't even take it to YouTube. So I pretty much just had to replace it. But I was thinking about maybe redoing the audio on that and re-uploading it. Yeah, I've got actually 3 more videos that it won't let me monetize because of that, but I haven't done anything with them yet. My older stuff isn't going to, get me much. I just don't like having those claims on there. No, I don't want no, I'm changing this. I was going to put them on the side, but I think I'm going to have it come out more. Charcoal, I don't remember the name of the company. It tells you. Dree says, internet comment etiquette with Eric just had an issue about that. With that. Yeah, I guess, my thing was I wasn't doing anything wrong. And I don't know the whole ins and outs of some of this stuff, because I know some people will use music from it and they just credit them. Like GameSack, they use game music all the time. And he's a pretty big channel, so I mean, I'm sure he doesn't want to give up the monetization on it, so I don't know what his workaround is on that. I don't know if he has rights to use it. So I just changed his tail a little bit. I had his fins off to the side like his upper body or upper area, but I decided I wanted to have it more like what I remember a seal has for a tail. Crazy Blow Pop says that if I was famous and someone uses my music, I really don't mind, just let them be. Yeah, I mean, it's not, to me, a lot of the stuff gives them more exposure. I mean, especially if it's something small. I can understand if it was, like a Rolling Stone song or something like that, and your channel's growing because it's got that music, like people watch your video, but these people that nobody's heard of, it's just going to help them. Dree says, yes, he wasn't either. Eventually he resolved it. Turns out another company also bought the rights, and then it got auto-claimed, so it might be an auto-claim. Yeah, there's a good possibility of that, because I know the day I monetized, 3 videos that night within minutes of each other got auto-claimed, or got copyright claimed. It wasn't a strike, it was just a claim. And Charcoal says, want to hear a weird fact? I figured this out quite a while ago. What is that? So I'm just using my needle tool to add some texture to the end of the tail. It's not quite what I want yet, but we'll get there. Charles says Nintendo actually has the right and can sue fan artists, but it's a waste of time and only promoting their games. Yeah, I agree. Nintendo does some weird stuff. They're my favorite game company, but I think they get a little too strict. Tori says, do you have a collection of your creations? Like a collection video, or just do I hold on to a lot of them? Dree says, if you don't mind this type of video, I'd recommend you watching the comment etiquette. It was pretty enjoyable and interesting. Yeah, I love, all kinds of different videos. I definitely love, ones that are educational and bring value that way. Moonbride's Madness. Sorry I was a little late. What did I miss? Well, bring up everybody to speed. I started on this week's monster, and it's going to be like a seal or sea lion shaped monster. So I just have the basic body. We haven't had any viewer decisions yet. Tori says, yeah, like your own, a lot of your little monsters. Yeah, I keep a lot of them. There's some that get, gifted, and then I sell some stuff on my Etsy shop. Dree says it's not educational. Well, if it's entertaining, I'll check it out. Crazy Blow Pop, I'm so confused. My YouTube added this emoji. Have a little dab, I guess? I don't know. Is that good if somebody dabs? Do the same thing for this fin. I'm going to just go a little bit different direction with it to give it some texture. Charcoal says, but it's elbow coughing. Oh, yeah. It's like, be safe. Cough into your elbow. Oh, yes. He must be going on a date. Wants to make sure he doesn't smell. It's always good to cough into your elbow and then to make sure you don't smell. That's what we're learning off of today's video. I like this look better than this look, so I'm going to go over and do some indentions there on the tail. So it's not quite as even. Dree says, I'm already eyeballing those spikes to go on his back. Crazy Beat Blow Pop says, also, what's wrong with the monkey emoji? Dree says the brown ones. So these like glittery ones, like the unicorn horn ones. Toe says, what are we making today? Making a seal-shaped monster. That's going to be my short answer on it. right, I think that'll work for the tail. I'm going to get a little more foil, build up a ball for the head. Yep, or walrus type, just that general shape. I think that's going to be a good size for it. And I've got a piece of wire here I can use to kind of help support it. Yeah, I'd have to look. Drew says if you give it some brick-shaped skin, he'd be a walrus. I know they have like kind of a tougher hide, or it looks like they do. While I'm getting ready to shape the head, I was just going to ask, Toe says, can we make it have one big eye? Charcoal says, try checking out some epic fantasy battle bosses. You might get a bit of inspiration. Tree says, it was a little dad joke. Crazy Blow Pop says, I say we make his eyes cute with creepy teeth. So how many eyes do we want to do? I saw Toe says one big eye. So I've got the head covered. I'm going to start adding features before I attach it to the body. Crazy Blow Pop says 2. Normal eyes. A little bit of indentation where I want this head to sit. Charcoal says Cyclops. Moonbride Madness says one eye. Cut my wire. Use my needle tool to kind of start a spot for it. Tree says 1. All right, we're going to go with 1. It seems like majority rules. I don't actually count the votes, but that's what I'm seeing most of. So do you want a white eye, a blue eye, or a green eye? Tree says 2 eyes but above each other. So here's my picks that'll fit nicely on here. So these are pre-baked. So I made these on a different video, but that way they'll keep their shape. So I'm seeing white and white. So we're just gonna go with white. I've got a couple whites. Dree says, I think green and blue wouldn't match the orange. Okay, perfect. White. So I'm going to use my ball tool, figure out what the bottom and the top is here, and do an indentation for the eye. And do we want to give this guy an underbite or an overbite like a walrus? Got that eye in there pretty good. Underbite. So get a couple overbites. Overbite. All right, so we're going with overbite. So I could actually do like a bunch, you know, because I don't want to make them just like a walrus with one eye that's orange. So we could give him a bunch of teeth. Do we want to do that? I'm trying to just sort out ones that might work. These, I think these two, no. Yeah, these two might be what I had left over from my goblin I just finished, and I ended up using a flat tooth. So this one here, Blue Pop has got to go. All right, well, hopefully I see you on the next one. Thanks for stopping by. Jessica says with the color kind of looks like a goldfish. Yeah, it's our goldfish walrus monster thing. Let's see if I can find another thin one. Maybe get 2 more teeth in here. Moonbride, say, sounds good, Blow Pop, see you then. Moonbride says multiple fangs will make it more interesting. I'm going to cut this one in half as well. It's a little bit thicker. So, let you guys get a look what I'm doing so far here. Move this around just a little bit. Tree says very nice. Toast says it looks good. Thank you. I can make enough room. We got some crowding here. My needle tool, and I'm just moving this one a little bit until I'm happy with the placement. Now I'm going to take a little more orange clay and put an upper lip there to cover up the tops of those teeth. So I'll just take a little bit off here. Dree says, I don't want to push, but I lost connection for a second, so I don't know if you answered. Do you think you could ever use steel wool as hair on a monster? Do you think it would bake along well? Yeah, I didn't get that question, so you're fine asking again, and you'd be fine either way asking again. No, I'd have to look if you could cook steel wool, but it's something too you could, if you watch my troll video, like I used needle felt, I used the wool roving for the hair on the troll, so it's something where like I could kind of do an indentation of where I want to put it and then add it after the fact. I mean, and that would be fine. Hello, Kujin. How are you? Toe says steel wool does make a lot of mess, but it'd be super cool. Kujin, I know you like my mixed media pieces. You will definitely have to check out the Goblin video I'm posting on Thursday for the Ace of Clay May 2020 Sculpt Challenge. It is probably the most mixed media piece I've ever done. Dree says, I'll try it myself first and maybe I'll tell you it worked. Well, just be careful. Just use my ball tool to smooth this lip in. And I kind of like this bumpy texture too, so. What do you think? Should I end up doing the walrus in that texture, or the walrus monster in that texture? Tree, don't blow up. We like that texture. It's a walrus monster, Kujin. It's not a fish. All right, I'm gonna shake my whole table here. I'm gonna texture this somewhat before I put it on there. But we can still add spikes, wings, whatever you guys want to add to this thing. Stripes. Kind of want to bring his lip up a little bit. I think it like gives him a little more personality if it's not just straight across. I'm getting text messages, so if you hear that bzz, bzz. Hello, Kirsten. Love the color. Thank you. Yeah, it's just a basic orange, but I've got some Twinkle Twinkle, which is the black with sparkles, that we can add spots if we want to. Toe says put some spikes on the back or on the fins. Just build this up a little bit more to have it fit nicely into the neck area. Get this smoothed in there. Bree wants brown black spikes, so I think we'll definitely do that. Just gonna add a little detail to this lip. Gonna mark where I want it to be. All right, so now I've got the start, and I'm gonna open that up. Charcoal says, is it just more, or does this look like Jotun, which is another boss in EFB, and I've been too much beating up the epic mode. My mind is full of it, sorry. EFB, I don't know what that is. Ah, he was definitely stuck. Look at that, all that pigment transferred. So you can get a good look at him while I get his head attached. Go in with my silicone tip tool. I got quite a gap here. If I can get that filled in without messing anything up. Oh, thanks, Kirsten, for the super chat. Kirsten has been a longtime supporter. She's a good friend, but she's been definitely been a good supporter of my YouTube channel and my art journey. Yeah, I've gotten a few super chats. Kirsten's done some. Had another viewer do one. My channel's not huge, but everything helps, so I do greatly appreciate it. But it's definitely not expected or you know, definitely not required. So before I do the rest of the texture, because I've kind of smoothed that out putting that head on, I'm gonna go through and smooth in this neck area. All right, so this little tooth here, I want to kind of adjust. There we go. He's kind of got a little too much weight there, but I think he'll still be okay. Towards the front, I mean. Charcoal says you have 6.9K subscribers. Nice, thank you. Yes, my channel's been slowly growing. It's definitely been a journey. I've been doing the channel for close to 2.5 years now. And every channel kind of grows at a different speed. You can't really go off of what other people do. I mean, I mean, obviously you always want to do really well. Just going to add some texture detail to him. And it looks like I got some orange color on there, or just a light reflecting, but that's just how it's going to be on that eye. Now you can go in and clean that up with some rubbing alcohol, which I might do that before I bake it. But this orange, as you can see here, the pigment really gets on there. So if you switch to like a different color, especially a lighter one, you're going to clean your hands really good. Go in and add some to his chest area. Make them all uniform. Toast says he looks like an imaginary pet I would have, and I love it. Awesome, thank you. I think it's fun when these characters, when you start doing them and they start, you know, coming to life, like you can see their personality in them. I mean, to me, it's a very rewarding part of the creation process. Oh, thank you, Dree. You guys are awesome. I do greatly appreciate it. Definitely running low on supplies, so that'll help. Dree, that's totally fine. Like I said, I don't want anybody to ever feel like they need to do that. I don't want to pressure anybody. I'm going to do these live streams, doesn't matter what. Well, thank you. I think I'm going to give his tail a little bit of a twist. I think that adds some motion to him. So I know Moonbright says, I think it would be cool with a lure like an anglerfish. You mean like the little head thing? Is that what you mean? So should we do that and put like for the center, I could put some of that Twinkle Twinkle in there. I don't want to make it too big because I don't want it to droop too much. And I've got a little bit more wire here, so I could have that kind of stuck on there. All right, so I'm going to go put it there without looking at any reference things. I think they're just kind of at the center of the top of their head. This might hurt a little bit, buddy. Yeah, that is not my foil because I had to press in for that eyeball. It's really tight there. There we go. Of course, this stuff is so soft, anytime I touch it, I mess up my texture. Toast says, giving him some brain surgery. Dree says, it'd also be a fun monster to make, an anglerfish. Yeah, I've actually thought about that. Every time I see a picture of one, they're so cool looking. Or even just, doing one by, just as itself. I'm just going to roll out kind of a thick snake here. Dree says, a chibi cute anglerfish. Oh my god, so many ideas. Yes, I totally get having so many ideas. Charcoal's talking about doing a space-themed one. That would be fun. I think this will work. Yeah, Drew, you're talking about too many ideas too little time. I'm pretty much doing my art full-time at the moment. I did look into a part-time job to kind of help with some stuff. But even doing that, it just, there isn't enough time. So my goblin that I worked on took me 10.5 hours, and it'll probably take me 10 hours to edit the video. Dree says the mind works faster than the hand. Yes. Toe says maybe a little hedgehog. It'd be cute to do a realistic looking hedgehog, not like a Sonic one. I've done a Sonic magnet before. I don't think Sonic really looks that much like a hedgehog. Yeah, I think real hedgehogs look really freaking cute. So I'm just going around the base. Sorry if my big head blocks this. Kind of smooth that in. So there's what we've got so far. And this will probably droop during baking, but I don't think it matters. It can be all droopy down. Dree says, yes, I really like you to do a realistic hedgehog, especially when they run, they stand so high on their little legs. Toe says, the only thing that makes Sonic look like hedgehog is a nose. Yep. Moonbride says that looks awesome. Thank you. Okay, so we want to add spikes to the back. So we want to do these. Is this what you're looking at, Dree? Is the unicorn horn? I'll get them all out. I'm not sure how many I'll use. But are these the ones you were wanting me to put on there? Yes, those. I like the color and I see if they're orange. Perfect. So I'm gonna Charles says drill horns. I'm gonna do kind of like how I do with like the Godzilla sculptures, where his back plates go from like small and then to large and then smaller again. So I can kind of do, I don't know how many we'll do. Maybe we'll do 4. And I should hopefully just be able to poke these in. And I want to push them down a little bit so it looks like they're coming out, not just resting on the top there. Bree says she likes. Awesome. Thank you. Gonna have to lean up so I can see how these are lining up. But I promise not to block the shot too long. Kirsten asked if I have any Patreon things. No, I am in the process of getting that ready. Just like everything else, I have too many ideas and not enough time. But I do think a Patreon would be a fun way, even if you didn't want to back it, it would be a fun way that I could have some free stuff on there just as another way to communicate, let you guys know my schedule, and then maybe have some tiered rewards, like if you guys wanted some sculptures and stuff. So I should give myself a time frame for putting that on there. But darn it, everything takes time. Toast says an axolotl, if I'm saying that right, axolotl would be sick. Yeah, I need to write this stuff down. Hedgehogs, and so I can add them to my book, because my book's not in here. So we want to do realistic style hedgehog, not necessarily real looking. Oh, anglerfish. See, I already forgot about that one. And axolotl. God, my writing is terrible. Hopefully you guys can't see that. Toast says you can do the join button YouTube thingy. Yeah, Toast, I haven't looked into that. Is that like where you become a member? Is that what maybe I should do? Because I know people will have notifications on and they still won't, you know, get notifications for my streams. I am going to take a smaller ball tool and add just a little bit of texture. This, not necessarily all the way around. I'll have to look into that because maybe that's a better choice since it's right on this platform. I have a pretty big following on my Facebook page, but it's like such a small percentage sees that stuff. And I know like there's a lot of artists that I follow on Facebook and I don't see their stuff. I mean, so I know it's the Facebook algorithm. So I'm gonna bring this guy up. So you can let me know if there's anything else you want me to do on him before we figure out what his name is. I'm gonna go ahead and texture some more areas here that either I smoothed out or didn't get to in the first place. Dree says, but maybe it's good to diversify platforms so you don't want to be too dependent on YouTube. Yeah, Dree, you make a really good point because, you know, I mean, I was pretty afraid of my channel becoming, you know, extinct with the whole FTC thing. And I guess if I have the Patreon and YouTube does something, I can still kind of fall back on that and find another platform to content on. Toast says it's a join button that you pay an amount of money a month to have advantages on the channel, Dree. Moonbride says, can you do webbing between the horns? Maybe. Like, let's see what I can figure out. This is the tricky part of live streams. If I can't do something, people are going to see my failure, which is fine. Nothing against any other YouTubers, but you know, you fall into that thing when you make a video, you want to show yourself doing it and doing well, but sometimes you don't realize that showing those mistakes helps people understand like it's okay, you know. I mean, it's like I've failed so many times at art. Yeah, and I'm not afraid of failing at all, otherwise I wouldn't be doing art. But there is a certain, you know, like when you're doing a live video, that you know, you want to look the best. We all want to do our best. So I'm just rolled out a little like sneaker clay, kind of pressed it, made it kind of rectangular. And now I'm just going to wedge it in between, and then I'll kind of smooth it in. Moonbride says, I'd rather enjoy YouTubers being real. hopefully you guys feel I am real, because I think I'm pretty real, as weird as it is. Yeah, that's one thing about live streams. Like, you want to limit your mistakes, and you want to do something faster than you normally do because you don't want to bore people. It's like when I made, if I make a 3-hour sculpt, I don't think anybody's going to want to watch that. I mean, and maybe I'm wrong. I know I watch a lot of longer like streams or videos, when I'm sculpting. So it's different than if you're just sitting there just watching the content. But I think if you're doing multiple things, it's kind of a fun thing to have on the background. And then if something catches your interest, Tree says, I totally would, but it would get too late for me. Well, I'd have to start it maybe like Saturday mornings real early. Toe says, maybe focusing on challenges and things that will help your channel grow. Yeah, definitely. Jessica says, I want to get back into painting. I used to dabble a bit with paint, but gave it up because I didn't think I was good at it. I should have kept trying. Well, and try now. Don't beat yourself up for stopping something. Just, recognize that, like, oh yeah, I should have kept going, and then put the time and effort into it. Tom, I don't know when you left, but I will, as soon as I get this webbing in here, I will bring him up to the camera. Charcoal says, I painted several pieces 3 days ago. Don't know if it's bragging. No, Charcoal, just be proud of your accomplishments. Everybody does different things and works at a different pace. That's right. Kirsten says, Andrew says, never stop creating. And don't go with the thing, it's like I'm too old or whatever. I turned 50 this year, and I didn't start working on my art consistently until I was 40. I've always loved art, and I always thought, oh, I'm going to be a comic book artist, or I'm going to be a famous sculptor. And it was a lot of daydreaming up to that point. But I had a job back then where I was working, 50 to 80 hours a week. I had no motivation for art, so it just wasn't going to be a feasible thing. And then as life kind of changed, I was able to reevaluate what was important and what I wanted to do. So I got this webbing. No, Dree, it wasn't. And it was overnight. Charcoal says 50s. You sound 20. No, I act like I'm 12, so you can ask my wife that. I watch cartoons and I collect action figures, so I think it just keeps me young. That and a bowl of Captain Crunch on Saturday mornings. Tom will be 51 tomorrow. Awesome. Yeah, my birthday's not till the end of the year. Jessica says, I'm 41 with a 3-year-old. She keeps me busy. Oh, I bet. My wife does in-home childcare, so during the week there's lots of little ones here. But I have my own cave, so I do have some isolation from that. Dree says, I'm 37. Tom says, Captain Crunch is yummy. That and Lucky Charms. I like that. I also like Reese's Puffs. I don't know if this webbing is as tall as what you guys were expecting. I just kind of did it. So I'm going to bring the little guy up. I didn't have enough to put it between the neck and that first one, but I thought it would look good coming down off of the back one into the body. So, good look, a little floppy tail. Dree says, trying to cut down on sugar, no more cereal for me. Yeah, I mean, I am trying to eat healthier, and I walk a lot, but I still have Captain Crunch. Toe says, hi, have any of you heard of Siren Head? I heard of it first from Ace of Clay. He did one, and then one of the 3D pin people that I follow did one of Siren Head also. It's really cool. Toe says it looks great. Thank you. Dree says, I think it makes me sad. Sugar, that is, not the monster. He's cute. Thank you. Moonbride Madness says, so cute. Toe says, I love it. Dree says, we don't have Captain Crunch here. It's barbaric over here. Maybe I need to send you somebody so that you can't have sugar, so that would just be mean. Charcoal says, Siren Head design is meh. I thought it was a cool piece. I thought it was, you know, unique and kind of creepy. It'd be cool to see it like in some kind of animated thing. I don't know, maybe there's something out there. Well, I think I should probably stop here with this guy. What do you guys think? I know I talked about adding spots, but I kind of like him how he is, and I don't want to mess him up. Charcoal says, my sister is eating cereal with her hands. It's devilish. Says there are so many games made of it. He says he's very cool. No spots, says Jessica. Perfect. Let's work for me. Now, and it's been about an hour, which is what I would, between an hour and a half for these. But like I said, guys, Tuesday I will have my Goblin video up on my channel. So please check that out. Let me know what you think of it. It's going to be a long one, so you're going to have to carve out some time for it. Yes, we need to name him. Dree says Cilantro. What do we think of that? How did I already lose my piece of paper? Yeah, I'm going to go with Dree's Cilantro. Yep, because cilantro is monsterly, and he's a seal, and his spikes are green. Tom says I was going to make a goblin for the challenge, but I ran out of time. Yeah, I get that. Mine was very time consuming. I don't know if you've seen it yet, Tom. It is up on the page, but like I said, I'll have the video on Tuesday, and then Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Time, I think is what I put down. I will be doing a 3D pin video, so I'm going to make a new sculpture with that. And then the following week, I'll have the unpackaging and testing of my mini iron. I haven't done anything with it. You can see it is steel sealed here. So I'm going to unpackage this and test that out on whatever sculpture I make on Thursday. Dree says, I'll watch it all. Awesome, thank you. All right, and we're all good with cilantro. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to today's live stream. I'm not for sure if I'll have Let's Make a Monster on next Sunday. Haven't decided if I'm going to go every other week or do it every week. But I'll let you guys know. I'll do a post on Facebook and in the community tab. And then, like I said, put the notifications on, and it might let you know if I go live. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. And remember, never stop creating. Bye.